Hello, and welcome to Living Sound. This is a space to explore the qualities and experience of resonance within our conscious felt experience. And now, diving into this experience of living sound, we'll be connected to ourselves, we'll be connected to the world around us through the energy and the vibration of harmonic frequencies. And these frequencies are consistently surrounding us through all of our daily experiences of our senses and our feelings and the energy that they are consisted of, the subtle energy, the frequencies, the vibrations. So now, as we tune into this sense of living sound, we understand that there's a deep spiritual connection to the vibration or the word, what they say is Om, or the cosmic vibration of the sound, the primordial sound that begets the universe, the thing, the unmanifest that leads to the manifest. And that thing is sound, that thing is vibration, the vibration of creation. And so as we tune into this concept of living sound, we understand that everything around us is a musical experience. Everything is a symphony. Everything in life plays according to tunes, a musical note. You would see when you see things happen maybe in sports or maybe in romance or in adventure, you say, wow, that just played just like poetry. And you say, well, look at that, that's just life. And the thing is that there are these macro level experiences that are very human and relatable, like the narrative of a story, for example, that play out in a way that is just the experience of understanding resonance and vibration and coherence at the human level. And of course, in biology or neuroscience or anything like of the sciences, we understand that there's all of these patterns that emerge in nature, and it's the repetition of these frequencies of the Fibonacci sequence and that sort of thing, where you have this repeating pattern in nature, and you see that those repeating patterns are also reflected through things like cymatics, or the harmonic frequencies and the octaves of musical notes that correspond to the pentatonic solids, like the icosahedron and the dodecahedron, that when water molecules are vibrated at a certain frequency, there's this study of vibrating matter called cymatics, and it's essentially the sound's effect on matter. And when you vibrate water at a certain frequency, it will create these various patterns, sort of like snowflakes and things, that are a direct geometric reflection of other embedded geometric cosmic information, that these essentially water molecules, when vibrated at these sound frequencies, create the same shapes that you see at the center of the DNA molecule 1,000 times or more at a different scale than the scale of a water molecule. So it's no coincidence that nature is a fractal and you see the same patterns repeating over and over and over again. And so anyways, to just get back to this concept of sound and living water, there's this concept called sonoluminescence, and sonoluminescence essentially means light emanated with sound, from sound. And there's all these studies of water being vibrated at certain frequencies, sound frequencies, to the point of producing an actual sonic flash of light plasma, and it's emanated from the center of a water molecule through this process of what's called cavitation. And there's this thing that essentially, when the water vibrates at a certain frequency, it produces a gas bubble from within itself, and then that gas bubble also spontaneously combusts, and it all happens so quickly that this produces a little field of energy. And people are studying this, and it's very fascinating. So sonoluminescence is this process of generating energy through sound and water, through this process of creating living sound. So now, as we understand where we are as human beings, we still don't really understand a whole lot about what's happening. We're really doing our best to study as much as we can about the world around us in a way that is meaningful and contributing to the progression of scientific understanding. And in going through this process, we understand that every good scientist knows that they don't know a lot. They don't know what they don't know, and they're trying to figure out what they don't know. That's the whole point of science. And at the same time, reflecting on academia as a space for science to be had, often conversations about energy are just directly connected to finance and whatnot. So finding a space for the discussion of different forms of energy technologies and that sort of thing is controversial for whatever reason that it has to be in our time. But I feel like that's changing, and that's a positive thing for the world to be accepting of these different technologies with not necessarily completely open arms, definitely skepticism and awareness of the downside of any new technology. And at the same time, their world is ripe and ready for the awakening of new technologies. And there's all sorts of different kinds of technologies, whether it's the energy generated from sound vibrating water molecules and creating plasma, or just from humans connecting around a campfire and sharing stories. There's a benefit to the behavioral or the psychological software technology that humans adapt within themselves through the percolation of grassroots social change and novel ideas that bring about a different sort of mindset, a different sort of perspective on the world that's fresh and that the world needs. And so when we are capable of sharing that in a way that people want to feel and people want to know and people want to wonder about why the world is feeling the way it is, and that there's this collective awakening and fracturing of the different realities in this concept of the multiverse, is this also like feeling of being at odds or at ends with the experience of living in reality and being exposed to an infinite number of realities at the same time, and yet that's all part of the one same reality. And being aware that from like a greater technological and ancient wisdom perspective, there's any number of different traditions that you look to will tell you about these different levels and layers of reality, like Maya, or just the cosmic dream, or the illusion of the world is the lotus hiding in the desert. The gem within the lotus is that nirvana, is that experience of pure bliss or awakening from this world that is a dream into the reality that has always been in front of you. And essentially it's that this life is a divine creation, and every moment is for us to experience it, and we have to do that for ourselves. There's no way that anyone else can do that for us, and that's a beautiful thing about life. And as we open up to our experience of life and we bring our awareness to the things that are most important to us, we find ourselves magnetically attracted to those things just by the pure law of magnetism. And as we become more aware and understanding of our own nature, we understand that when we make the best of our life situations and when we reflect on what we learned and making the most of every day by just getting a little bit better every day, we come more in tune with the nuance of what we want most. And the clearer we get on those things, the more we're able to move closer to that reality. And at the same time, we understand that there's only so much that we can do about planning for things, and that sometimes there is a life to be lived that is not what we expected. And being open to that adventure and being willing to experience the thing that you know you've been waiting to experience, and yet fully accepting and allowing means surrendering something that you've been holding on to. So being willing to let go and being willing to step into the flow and being ready to be available to be guided on your journey from divine guides, and being here for you to be open and to be whole in your experience of whatever it is that you are wishing to bring to yourself. And I was just talking to someone today, and they realized that all they really needed was to experience space, and that in a place like on a yoga mat, there's a space that you may not normally find, and maybe that's what you're looking for. Maybe it's nothing other than the space to be with yourself and to be by yourself, to be alone but not lonely, able to recharge your batteries so that you can better show up in the world. And this is a lovely thing for someone who is introverted. But I think that everybody has a certain threshold for their ability to be social and not have some craving for solitude, and to experience solitude as being with your best friend, and whether that's you being with your highest self or you being in the presence of the divine, or however you experience that, is being in a space of solitude you can create, or you can connect within yourself in a way that allows you to show up for other people with a higher connection and a higher awareness. And that's all we're really here to do. And that when we are in that mode of neurologic receptivity and awakening our hearts to deeper resonance with the things that matter, and we allow ourselves to be in that space, that's where the magic happens. So that's the blessings of the moment. And as you reflect and record your own mental notes, take time to be with yourself, to find quiet space, to reflect and remember to act, that it's in the sharing of knowledge, the sharing of smiles, the sharing of hugs, that we find resonance in this world, and that by weaving together our networks and by bringing more light, more inspiration, more awareness of the shadow, more feeling because of that, more sensitivity, more intuition, we're able to more fully awaken to our one true experience of wholeness, which is that in communion all together as human beings with the divine, and being in that space of feeling honored to be here, to be given this chance at life, that it is a privilege that we are all given to wake up with a new day, a new breath, and that we can make the most of it. So let's do our best and stay in the flow. Peace.